Hello 11th. I'm going to show you how to use Excel to do the cable length calculations of your bridge quickly. Excel is an awesome tool, and with a very, very little bit of knowledge, it can save you a huge amount of time. So you'll all have different equations, but here is mine attached. I have a nice little curve, the equation's there. I have my road, which is y equals 1.5 high, and I've decided that my cables are going to land on the 0.5 mark. There. Actually, not there, that's 1.5. 1.5, cool, easy. Now, so what I'm trying to calculate is the gap between this line and that point, this line and that point, etc. So I would like to do this relatively quickly. Clearly, you can all do it by hand, and you can do it 19 times over by hand, no worries. However, we should be able to do that quite quickly using Excel. So, on Excel, see, I want my X values. They're where the points I'm going to substitute in. Those X values start at 0.5 in my particular case, and then they go up by half each time. Yours should all go up by a regular increment. So I'm just going to take this previous cell and add 0.5 to it. And then I can drag this down, and it will add all the way up. Now, on my mini example, my highest value is going to be 3.5 because 4 doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to get rid of that 4. Cool. So this is the X term. Now, I want f of x. Effectively, I'm going to substitute that value of 0.5 into my equation. So my equation is, well, not that, minus x take 2 squared plus 5. Cool. So I want to write this as equals negative x take 2 squared plus 5. However, we want to substitute in a value in place of x. So just us putting in x won't tell it what we really want to do. We need to put in a number there. And clearly we could type in the number 0.5 manually, but that would just be us doing it by hand. Instead, we can put in a2. It will substitute that value into that place where x was previously. And that is 7.25. So what that is saying is when I put 7.25 in here, when I put in x equals a half, that will get 7.25 high. Now it's worth checking this, because I'm not very good at Excel, so it's worth you to check this manually to start with. What I think this is saying is if you put in that, it comes out as 7.25 high. However, if we look at the graph, putting in x equals 0.5 going up to the line, that's not 7.25 high. So something's gone wrong. Often with Excel, it's a matter of brackets. What I feel like is happening here is that this squared is actually hitting that negative, and therefore adding to it. And we don't want it to hit the negative, so we are going to do this, ensuring the square only hits the bit inside, and then the negative applies to it. 0.75. Now that is much better, because 0.5 in, 2.7 high, 5 high, yep, that would land us exactly there. Beautiful. So, now we're comfortable our equation works, and this checking thing is an important part of the process. We can click and drag down. And what happens is, it will substitute in the different values along here into there. So just that bit again, because that's the key. The little box will appear here, you click and drag, and it will fill down based on what was filled down here. Alright, so that is the different heights. And you can see it's symmetrical around a center point, which, that makes sense, we're expecting it to be symmetrical. Yours will have 19 values, so it'll be harder to spot the symmetry, and yours might not even be perfectly symmetrical around a particular point. That's okay. Or it might not look symmetrical around a point. Alright, then we want to find the actual length of that height. So we are 2.75 here. We want to take off 0.5. Take off 1.5 to just narrow that gap down. Now, clearly the gap between those 2 points is 1.25, and you could probably do that manually. You could go through and subtract 1.5 from all of these values. You subtract 1.5 from that, 1.5 from this. However, Excel makes these repeated calculations more efficient. So this is the actual answer here, cable length. And we want it to be equals the starter formula, this cell minus 1.5. 1.25, drag it down. Now, you could go through and add them all up for a total cable length, or you can type equals sum. Select the range you're interested in, close off the brackets, hit enter. That is the total length of my cables. Hopefully that works. and you're able to apply it to your set of equations. Certainly if you're a writer, you should show one complete set like that, done by hand, and it's really good to check that your Excel is working by doing it by hand on the calculator first. But doing that repeatedly 19 times over is a stunning waste of time. Get Excel to do it. Put the Excel spreadsheet and formula into your writer. Thank you very much. Hope that helps.